In this lesson, we'll take a look at how to graph sine functions that only have changes to the amplitude and the period. When we're plotting sine functions, we're going to be looking at some key pieces of information within our function. We're going to be looking at our amplitude, our period, and then 5 key points that are going to be on our graph. So here we have the parent function of our sine function. When we are looking at the parent function, the y value of sine is always going to be 0 at the angles of 0, pi, and 2 pi. We can put those values here at the right at 0 here, pi here, and 2 pi right here. Our value of sine equals 1 at pi over 2 and -1 at 3 pi over 2. And we see those values right here and right here. So if we look at just this portion of our graph right here, that I have those values highlighted, that makes up one period of the parent function. So we learned that a period is the amount of time for the graph to repeat, and it takes up one cycle. And for the parent function, we're talking about 2 pi, one revolution around the unit circle. All right, so we have five key points within that cycle, and we have our amplitude there. Notice that we only go up as high as 1, and we go down as far as -1. So there's a lot of information contained in that one portion of the graph, and all of that information can be obtained from the function itself when it's given to us. So we can be given the function and then create the graph as long as we know how to manipulate the function. So the first thing we're going to do when we're asked to graph the function by hand, we're not always going to get out Desmos or our graphing calculator. Sometimes we actually want to do this by hand. The first thing we're going to do is identify the amplitude. So remember, the amplitude is right there in our graph, and it is the absolute value of A. The next thing we're going to want to do is identify the period, and that is going to be 2 pi over the value of B. Okay, so A is going to stretch our graph vertically up and down. So if I multiply by a factor of A, then what's going to happen? My graph is going to either get steeper or shorter. Okay, so it's going to stretch it up or condense it down. My B is going to change how long it takes to complete a cycle. So we'll see how that impacts the graph as we start creating graphs. So then we're going to have these 5 key points. So the first key point right here is where my cycle is going to start. So x1 is going to be my first point that I'm going to graph. And if I don't have what's called a phase shift or horizontal shift, which we'll learn about in another demonstration, then that's always going to be 0, 0 on my sine graph. So my first point is going to be my starting point. So I'm going to start here. All right, that's my starting point right there. So that's my x1 point. So whenever I'm graphing, that's my first point. My next point is going to be my second point, x sub 2. And that's going to be where I go next. That's going to be one of my maximum points. And that's where I'm going to go from here. It's going to be right here, whatever that is. And in the parent function, it is pi over 2 over 1. So that's at 90 degrees. My next point is going to be an intercept. I'm going to come back down through the x-axis right here at 0. Remember, the circle is going around and that point is coming down, and it's going to hit right here, and then it's going to hit right here, it's going to come through, it's going to hit here, and then it's going to cycle back up through here. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that right here. So I'm going to hit pi right here. So that's my third point right there. And then my fourth point is going to be another minimum, or a minimum, sorry. And the last point is going to be the end of my cycle, and it's going to be an x-intercept. Those are going to be right here. So let me go ahead and label those as well, just so you have them. So this is x3, x4, and x5. Okay? And in order to find all of these points, we use what are called quarter periods. So to find x1, x2, x3, x4, and x5, use quarter periods. So use the period divided by 4. And I'll show you how to use that when we work our first example, okay? So for our first example, let's sketch the graph of y equals 3 sine 2x. For this problem, our amplitude is the absolute value of 3. Remember, we use A to find our amplitude. So this graph is going to have a vertical stretch factor of 3. So we are going to have amplitude of 3. So that means we are going to have a maximum value off of our midline of 3. So we'll just have a maximum value on our graph of 3, and we're going to have a minimum value of -3. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that on my graph down here. Our period is going to be 2 pi over b. So in our equation, our b value is 2. So I'll just jot that down just so that we know. B is 2. So our formula here is going to be 2 pi over 2. So our period is equal to pi. So what that tells me is that my graph is going to complete one full cycle between where it starts and pi. So it's going to complete a cycle of start, up, back down through, all the way down to a minimum, and then back up at pi. So I am going to go all the way through a cycle between 0 and pi. And I know it's going to start at 0 because I'm not shifting anywhere. We haven't learned about shifts yet, so we're not going to think about shifts yet. We know we're going to start at 0. So our first point, our x1, our 5 key points, our x1 is going to be 0, 0. So that's where we're going to start on our graph. That's our starting point. So we're going to start at 0. So that's where our graph will start. We'll start right here. So what we need to do is mark off increments on our x-axis here. But before I do that, what I like to do is figure out what my first maximum point's going to be, because that kind of helps me think about what I want to count by so that I can mark off my increments. It's just the way I like to do it. So my second point is going to be my maximum point, my first maximum. And I need to find that point by adding a quarter of a period to my first point. And the reason I add a quarter period is because if you think about the shape of your sine wave, you go from your start point up to the first place you mark off, and then you come down to here to your intersection, and then you go down again to a minimum, you come back up here. So what you have happening here is you have 1, 2, 3, 4 places that you need to mark off. So I need to add a quarter period. So in my case, I have pi over 4 is a quarter period. So here is a quarter period. And that's what I was talking about on the previous screen that we needed to use to find our points here. And I think I just wrote period instead of period. So let's write period here. And then let's erase this curve because we're going to run out of room if I don't. All right. So let's add a quarter period here. And we've got 0 plus pi over 4 equals pi over 4. So that's going to be my first point that I come to after my starting point. So I'm going to come to pi over 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count in pi over 4 increments because that's my first maximum, and I'm going to go ahead and be crazy and I'm going to graph 2 cycles. So that means I'm going to go from 0 to 2 pi. So one cycle is going to happen at pi, and I want to go from 0 to 2 pi is what I'm going to do because it's, you know, it's not that hard to do. So my first increment here, and I'll show you how to mark those increments off. My first one's going to be at pi over 4. So this will be what I count by, pi over 4. So then my next one's going to be 2 pi over 4, which is actually pi over 2. That reduces to pi over 2. Okay, pi over 2. My next increment is going to be 3 pi over 4. See how I'm just counting here? 1, 2, 3 pi over 4. My next increment is going to be 4 pi over 4, which is actually just pi. And look, that's where my cycle is going to end. So I probably didn't leave myself nearly enough room on this graph. So I'm going to have to really squeeze and adjust here. It's not going to be a very well drawn graph. So my next point is going to be 5 pi over 4. And then 6 pi over 4, which is actually 3 pi over 2. And you don't need to write both versions of this number down here. I'm just doing it so that you can see 7 pi over 4, 8 pi over 4, which is 2 pi. That's the rest of my second cycle there. Okay, so at pi over 4, that's my maximum point. That's my first max. So, and I'm going to go up to 3 here. So that's my first dot. So my third point, I don't really even need to do the math there. I know my third point's going to come down right here. I'm going to come down at that next point, the next increment. But I am going to go ahead and I want to do the math there just to show you how it works out. I have pi over 4 plus a quarter period plus pi over 4, which equals 2 pi over 4, which reduces to pi over 2, all right, which is where I am. My next point is going to come down here to only to -3, which I realize I look like I'm a little bit below -3. But my fourth point, if I add a quarter period, so if I add a quarter period to pi over 2 plus a quarter period, which is pi over 4, is going to be, let's see, 3 pi over 4. Don't be afraid, fractions are your friend. All right, and that's where you end up. And my next point, my last point, which is where I'm going to end up, is going to be pi. If I do the math there, I'm going to say 3 pi over 4 plus a quarter period, which is pi over 4, is going to be 4 pi over 4, running out of room, equals pi. All right, that's my last point. And so next what I'm going to do is just sketch in my curve. And it is just a sketch, so it's not going to be perfect. Whoops, I probably should have put a little curve in it going the other direction. All right, and then I would go, I can put another point in up here at 3, no higher than 3. Okay, and I come back down through here, down here to 3, and back up here. And so I can keep on going with my curve. I can even come back this way, okay? And I have sketched that curve. All right, let's do another example. In this example, our amplitude, absolute value of 2, our amplitude is going to equal 2. So we're only going to go to a maximum value of 2. I'm going to go down to a minimum value of -2 in this graph. Our period will be 2 pi over b, And in this case, b is 1/2, so it's going to be 2 pi over 1/2. So I need to do that as 2 pi times 2 over 1. And I'm going to run out of room, which equals 4 pi. So my period is 4 pi. So my cycle runs from 0 to 4 pi. So it takes all the way from 0 to 4 pi to complete one cycle. So my first point, my x1, is going to be 0. I don't want to put a 0 or an equal sign there. My next point is going to be 0 plus a quarter period. So remember, we need to calculate a quarter period in order to know what to add. So quarter periods just mean your period divided by 4. So a quarter period in this case is going to equal pi. So we're going to count by pi here. So we're going to say 0 plus pi gives me my maximum point. So I'm going to start at 0 and I'll go up to pi. So I'm going to count off here and I'm going to start with pi. So this one's going to be a little easier to write. My next point is going to be 2 pi, and then I'll have 3 pi, and then I'll have 4 pi, 5 pi. I'll just keep going and do 2 cycles again. 6 pi, 7 pi, 8 pi. Okay, so here we have my max point at 2, comes up here at pi. And my third point is going to be pi plus pi, which equals 2 pi. Remember, I add quarter periods. So I'm going to come back down here to 2 pi. My next one comes down another quarter period. I only come down to a minimum of -2. So my fourth point is 2 pi plus pi, which equals 3 pi. And then I need to come back up to 4 pi, and that's where my cycle ends. So my fifth point, my fifth key point, so when you're asked for the 5 key points, this is what we want. 3 pi plus pi is 4 pi. So now I can just sketch my graph. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll start with my initial point, come up and down and give it some curve. And then I'm going to go ahead and just plot the rest of my points here. I'm going to go back up here at 5 pi. I'm moving by increments of pi, and I'm only going up to a maximum of 2. Coming back down through 6 pi, down to -2, back up to 8 pi. It just continues to repeat. So I can continue to sketch. And then continue on. I can go the other direction. And I could have marked off my axis there, but I didn't. And that's how you would graph your sine function with changes to amplitude and period. In our next demonstration, we'll look at the cosine function.